We co-parent Jordan, but we're separated.
Okay. And, you know, she was a right-hand person to Hillary Clinton in 2016 while the scandal was taking place.
For years before that, she was with Hillary for, she's 20 years.
And the whole thing with the life insurance, you know, the email, 650,000, the one folder with the word life insurance and the files that are in there. So the next thing that people said, you got to ask him is the following. So, you know, Rob, if you can pull up this story, I'm like, I'm not going to buy into this one. Well, 9 out of 12 cops, NYPD, who saw the email and saw what was in that laptop, you know, committed suicide. And it was, you know, 7 of them since June, and it was the most ever that this took place. And these are the men that committed suicide. So then we went and looked it up, and we're like, no, they did commit suicide, but it wasn't linked directly to seeing the laptop or the intel there. No problem. So again, no credibility there. So there's no reason to ask you the question about the 9 out of 12 cops that saw it.
You shouldn't even be listing them and giving it oxygen.
No, my job is to listen, because I like to read.
No, list them. You shouldn't be listing these things.
Well,
these things
it is what it is.
Destructive. People have actually had violence done over these things.
These are conspiracy theories that
all
some
that have
people,
books about them, though.
Right.
I wouldn't
but the
recommend
one thing
read.
that's kind of weird, and first thing I ask myself is, how the hell is Anthony Weiner still alive? What do you mean by that? Well, when you go through the list of people that have been close to Hillary Clinton and the Clintons and the death pool, this is not a conspiracy. You got the names of James McDougal, okay, Clinton's convicted Whitewater partner, died of an apparent heart attack. You know, Mary Mahoney, a former White House intern, was murdered July 1997 at a Starbucks coffee shop in Georgetown.
Ron Brown, he died in a plane crash.
Vince Foster Vince Foster was the next one. By the way, the James Dougal was a key witness in a key Ken Starr investigation.
Ron Brown was in a plane crash. Why is he on the list?
Ron Brown is another one, but there was a close person to this. Victor Razor, you got Paul Tooley, Ed Woolley.
Wait a minute, you're reading a list of people that Bill and Hillary Clinton knew. They're 80, they're 70-something years old.
I'm asking you this question. I'm asking you this question and an answer at the end. So you got Jerry Parks, Jane Bunch, James Wilson, Kathy Ferguson, Bill Shelton, Candy Bow, Florence Martin, Susan Coleman, Paula Grober, Danny Casolero, Paula Wilker, John Parnell Walker, Barbara Weiss. We should verify this yourself, because you're running a radio show. You should look it up. Charles Meisner, Dr. Stanley Hurd, Barry Beal, Barry Seal, Johnny Lawhorn,
Can you read me the URL you're reading? Can you read me the URL you're reading?
We'll send you the most credible source you can look it up.
I want to hear the URL. That's a really good question. Is this like www.clintonkilllist.com? I'm so curious. What is the URL to this? Oh, yeah, true. Thank you. Is this the list? The URL is www.legacyfirearmsco.com. Nice.
We'll put the link below. We'll put the link below.
Just tell me so I know what I'm responding
Friday,
to.
Kevin Ivey, Dan Henry.
PBD not saying the URL is evidence that he knows he's operating in bad faith. Why wouldn't you just say the URL? If he doesn't say it, that's an astounding show of like scumbaggery from him. But
Keith Coney, and these were part of the Ivy Henry case. Keith McCaskill.
What's the Ivy Henry case?
You can look it up. Ivy Henry case. So Gregory Collins, Jeff Rhodes, James Millen, Richard Winter, and then you got the close bodyguards, Major William Barkley, Captain Scott Reynolds, Brian Hanley, Tim Sable, General William Robertson. You don't even know what you're reading a list of. How is this helpful? Robert Kelly, Colonel Gary Rhodes, Steve Wills, Robert Williams, Conway LeBlue, Todd McKeon. I'm done. It's 46 names. And
of what? Can you read me the list? Can you read me the URL so I know what you read a list of before I answer any questions about it?
When I finish this, stillinthestorm.com. You can look it up.
Stillinthestorm.com. This is your big moment, guys.
Stillinthestorm.com. Is that even the right URL? Jesus.
Yeah, so you can go. And by the way,
ads about chemtrails at the end of it.
He hasn't even asked the question. He's just reading the article.
He's reading a list of names.
So
he hasn't even asked the question. It's a list.
Yo, come on. Oh, he's simping because it's his boss.
The fact that you're getting nervous is an answer.
It's not.
The getting nervous? Here I am reading 50
The President's Sunday Strat.
Is this guy, somebody said this guy runs an MLM. I should show up on one of their shows and have 100 names of people that have filed for bankruptcy that have been part of his thing, and then at the end I'll say what it's about.
I'm nervous. This stuff makes me sick when you repeat these ridiculous.
It makes us sick as well. It also makes us
obviously
sick.
doesn't.
Of course, because the establishment makes us sick.
You start the question by reading a list of well-founded
Your reaction is an answer.
conspiracy. I know these things make me sick, and people
Your
have gotten killed.
reaction is an answer.
Someone went into a pizza parlor in Washington because they believe this shit, and you're making an echo chamber.
Your reaction is an answer. So let me go to it here now.
No.
Your reaction
You're not
is an
going to read a
answer.
list. Yeah, my reaction is my reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you tell me what that list, in your view?
You haven't allowed me to finish. If you allow me to finish the
you're
question,
reading 46
then
random
you can
names.
do.
What I'm trying to figure out is, so this is, hold on, I'm intensely interested in this actually. Okay, because this is like the billion-dollar question. So does this guy on the left know that he's working as a propagandist, or does he actually think he's operating in good faith? Does he think that ambushing somebody with a 50-person list and not even reading what it's about before getting the does he know that this is like a bad faith propaganda strategy, or does he actually think he's coming from a place of good faith?
So if the
whatever you want.
Of some insane website.
I love your answer.
And
because
these people who you don't even know who they are, you're reading them on a list of something, making some kind of as if it's somehow suspicious. You don't even know who these human beings are, who have families, who are like out there, and now
I'll spend the next 2 hours with you one by one, explaining who each of these individuals are if you want to do that.
How about you pick one? Pick one and tell me who he was and what his story was. No, not you. You were asking me the question. Pick one name and then tell me.
Pull up Vince Foster if you want.
No, Vince Foster, that suicide has been investigated 50 times. Pull up one of the obscure names you pulled. Why did you pull Ron Brown? Here, let me read Ron Brown. Ron Brown, a Commerce Secretary who a plane crashed while he was on a humanitarian mission, crashed into the side of a mountain. So what do you want to know about Ron Brown? What do you want to know about Ron Brown?
Can you let me ask the question?
No.
Oh my God, that's actually such a scumbag move.
Listen, this is a conversation.
No.
We're having a conversation.
I'm sorry. I'm the host. You invite me to your podcast. You get to ask the question. I'm the host. I want to ask you the question. You haven't let me answer the question.
I didn't see
your reaction is already an answer.
I know. I am infuriated by people who drag other people's names who are powerless. You're not powerless.
Hillary Clinton is powerless?
No, these people.
Hillary Clinton is powerless.
These people.
That's the problem.
These people.
Hillary's the problem.
You read a list of people because you have the power to do it. People who do that are bullies, and I don't appreciate bullies.
I have the power to do what?
You do. To read a list of some stranger's names.
The DOJ and other things to control and hide.
I will say, for all of his faults of sexting, was it a 16-year-old or 17-year-old? Anthony Weiner did have a lot of God City moments. Where was the one he had? What am I trying to remember? Was it this? Was it this?
Gentleman from New York is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 1 minute to the distinguished gentleman from New York, Mr. Weiner.
Gentleman's recognized.
Great courage to wait until all members have already spoken and then stand up and wrap your arms around procedure. We see it in the United States Senate every single day where members say, we want amendments, we want debate, we want amendment, but we're still a no. And then we stand up and say, oh, if only we had a different process, we'd vote yes. You vote yes if you believe yes. You vote in favor of something if you believe it's the right thing. If you believe it's the wrong thing, you vote no. We are following a procedure. I will not yield to the gentleman, and the gentleman will observe regular order. The gentleman will observe regular order. Gentleman thinks that if he gets up and yells on it, if he's going to intimidate people into believing he's right, he is wrong. The gentleman is wrong. The gentleman is providing cover for his colleagues rather than doing the right thing. It's Republicans wrapping their arms around Republicans rather than doing the right thing on behalf of the heroes. It is a shame. A shame.
Oh, this was that same bill that Jon Stewart. Anthony Weiner, he must be from New York, right? He sounds like it. Is he? He was from, New York's, yeah. Okay, yeah. New Yorkers, and Jon Stewart included, were super ass mad that Republicans were blocking this fucking bill for 9/11 first responders. What the fuck? That's like actual evil shit, bro. Why would you block this bill? I don't even know what the reason was. There must be some reason. There must have been some strategy or something, but
if you believe this is a bad idea to provide health care, then vote no! But don't give me the cowardly view that, oh, if it was a different procedure, the gentleman will observe regular order and sit down. I will not. The gentleman will sit. The gentleman is correct in sitting.
Bro. Wiener had some God City moments. Gets into a shouting match after leaving a bakery in an Orthodox Jewish neighborhood.